right, so today we're going to try something a little different with our demos. I'm demoing the new Fender Vintage II Telecaster. It's a 51 Blackguard Tele. And what I'd like to talk a little bit about today is Jeff Beck, who's one of my all-time favorite guitar players. Of course, he recently passed away. And in the beginning of the video, I was playing his iconic version of "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers," which is actually originally a Stevie Wonder composition, but everyone knows it because of Jeff Beck's beautiful version. It's one of the all-time great guitar instrumentals. And I'm not going to talk about how to play like Jeff Beck because, in my opinion, that is an impossibility. What I learned from Jeff Beck is just his soulfulness, his expressiveness, his ability to give each note its own dynamic, his incomparable tone, his unique style, and his ability to have just such a recognizable voice on his instrument, which is what I feel like we all go for. So let's talk a little bit about the chords in the song and how to play over the changes, because of course the key center shifts a little bit. So in the A section of the tune, we've got a C minor 7, an F minor 7, or I'm sorry, an A flat major 7 second, an F minor 7, and then a C suspended to a C major. In the B section, we have a D triad over a C, F minor 7, B flat 7, and then once again C suspended to C. So primarily he's soloing over the A section. So of course, most of these chords are diatonic to C minor, otherwise known as E flat major. So the C minor 7, A flat major 7, and F minor 7 are all in the key of C minor. But then, of course, it goes to C major. So in the C minor section, you have a variety of scale solutions you can use. You can use your standard C minor pentatonic scale. You can use a C minor blues scale. You can use the C natural minor scale. Or you can use a C Dorian scale as long as you keep it primarily to the one chord, C minor 7. For a little bit of that Dorian flavor. Now, if you want to play over the B section, it gets kind of interesting. The D over C gives you a D mixolydian, because D over C is basically a D7 chord. So you can use the D mixolydian mode. Which is the 5th mode of the G major scale. So you can just use your G major scale if you think about it as centered over a D over C chord. But what ends up happening here is you get a little bit of D major pentatonic in use. So it almost creates it's more of like a C Lydian thing, because you know the G major scale is 1 sharp, F sharp. So if you impose that against the C chord, you get a C Lydian sound. And that's also what he uses. He kind of peppers that in the A section when it goes to C major, because when it resolves to C major in the A section, you can of course use C major pentatonic. You can use the C major scale. But since this tune was kind of recorded at the height of jazz fusion, and you know, it's more of a modal approach, the C Lydian comes into play here, which can be outlined conveniently with the D major pentatonic scale. All right, so what you want to do is remember that scales are not music. They're just tools to make music. So what I try to do when I solo is play melody. Over the C minor 7 chord, I'm trying to hit the target tones of C minor. So let's take everything in pentatonic 1 to keep it nice and familiar. So if I think about a C minor 7 chord here, I might play a melody like that. And then in this position, an A flat major 7 would be here. So when I go to my F minor 7, I can highlight the A flat, the minor 3rd of F minor, And then, staying in the same position, I want to think about resolving my line to C major. There's the Lydian note, F sharp. So, what you try to do is create melodies that switch horses in midstream. You don't want to break stride between chords. You want to create a continuous melody. Like that flows through the chords. You want to play across the chords, not at the chords. At least that's how I like to think. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit to wrap up the video about these great new guitars from Fender, the American Vintage II series, which is wonderful, and they're a great value. This is the 51 Telecaster, which is, of course, just like, you know, your standard kind of blackguard Tele. Let's listen to everything quickly. I'm playing through a PRS 67 anniversary, which is basically very similar to an old Plexi-style Marshall, more like a super bass variant. Let's listen, and I have it set cleanish right now, so let's listen to it in the neck. Here we go. Here's the middle. Here's the bridge. A little bit of boost. Okay, there we have it. That is the Fender American Vintage II 51 Telecaster. And I hope you found that information about Jeff Beck's wonderful Cause We've Ended as Lovers. And if you don't know his music, please check it out, because it's all wonderful. All right, thanks.